Alrighty, Coach Rick here. It's day one at training camp and it's shock and awe. We've got about 1,500 metres of climbing in just about 52k, and that includes a pancake flat first 15k, lulling us into a nice false sense of security. This is Group 1, me, John, Martin and Suraj. Group 2 went rogue, they're probably the smart ones. When you're riding somewhere like this, there's value in switching off a bit, drop the effort, let your heart rate settle and actually take in the views, admire it all. On the descent, just relax your grip. Bend your elbows, look ahead. The confidence comes from line choice and braking early, not late. Suraj's goal this week was just to get through the rides, and honestly, that's a solid goal for this sort of terrain. Not every rider needs to chase PRs. Sometimes the win is just finishing and building consistency and not blowing up. Consistency first, climbs come later, and hey ho, at the end of the camp, Suraj was knocking out PRs on the climbs. Martin had obviously been secretly training. He danced up the climbs and his FTP was way higher than he pretended prior to the camp starting. I think there'd been a bit of bluffing. John didn't say much. He was either suffering or just in the zone and silent. So when you're stopping to let the group come back together, like we did here, this is actually one of the best opportunities to take on some carbs. You've already got the heart rate down, you're not trying to chew while gasping for air, and it's way easier to fuel properly when you're not bouncing around on a descent or grinding up a climb. It doesn't have to be a full meal, just a gel, half a bar, or a quick handful of Haribo. If you do that every time you stop, you'll stay ahead of the bonk and avoid that death spiral feeling later in the ride, like I probably failed to do. Honestly, a lot of people underfuel when riding in groups because they don't want to get dropped while eating. So take these stops and turn them into a little strategic win. This wasn't a gravel route. This was a road, well, a Welsh road, which means gravel, grass, sheep, then 20% gradient for good measure. By this point, I've no idea what number climb we were on. And to be honest, I was now starting to question my life choices. At least we didn't get rained on and the weather was just totally amazing. This was meant to be the big climb of the day, though honestly, it felt like every climb was competing for that title. Kicked off with a nice friendly 23%, then mellowed out to a chill 15, which by that point felt like downhill. All I could see was the road, my stem, and a slow motion breakdown. On a multi-day training camp like this, pacing is everything. It's super tempting to go hard early and smash everyone, but you'll pay for it later if you burn through your carbs too quickly. So rides like this are all about managing the intensity, keeping it easy where necessary, fueling well and taking in the views while you recover. This descent, absolute bliss, although I was still on the brakes because I'm actually a coward with expensive tyres. But, to be honest, there's no prizes for descending super fast at training camp. It's worth descending within your ability level and not making any errors. No one wants to crash. Coming up to the last proper climb of the ride, Martin and John were just ahead. So, obviously, I did what any reasonable person would do. Full gas, zero pacing, pure ego. Day 2 is allegedly flatter, but not really. Let's see how that holds up. Like and subscribe. If you'd have cracked halfway through this route, let me know. No shame, I nearly did. Thought my legs were going to pop off.